Hello and welcome to my channel, friends. Today is a very cold day here on our ranch in northern Canada. When it's cold day like this, I just have to make sure that I check my cheese fridge because sometimes it gets so cold that it actually freezes in our pantry and it freezes inside the fridge. So sometimes I have to move the cheeses out if it gets too cold. Just having a cup of coffee here before I head out into the cold, and Gus is eating some homemade yogurt for breakfast. Zach's already out there. Poor Zach has been working extra hard in this cold spell. He was actually down in the barn just checking that the water troughs were doing good. You can see that it is quite cold out there. The cows are not even at the feeder. The milk cows are in the barn. They're just kind of coming out when they need to eat, but staying in the barn mostly. It's actually only like minus 24, which we can get really cold weather, but it's a cold snap for sure. It's supposed to be a bit of a cold snap for the whole week here. Just can progressively get worse, so this is only day 2, and it will be getting colder. I'm a bit of a baby because we haven't had a cold snap yet, so I'm kind of like getting used to it, but I thought I would show you guys my morning routine, just getting the cows milked, and yeah, what it's like when it's a little bit colder. Poor Zach, my husband, has been up a lot throughout the night, just making sure that water troughs stayed unfrozen. Turbo heater in the barn was on a couple times. Breaker blew. Just everything is a little bit harder when everything is cold. So me having to go down and milk the cows is really nothing compared to what Zach has to do managing 240 beef cows. He's gonna be putting out bales today for the next few days, so the cows can bale graze. It's easier on the equipment, like the tractors are hard to run in cold weather, but also nicer for the cows because then they have just constant feed. So he's going to be doing that today, alongside just, trying to keep all the water troughs unfrozen, even heaters and stuff like that. They don't really do much in this cold weather. So that's his task for the day, and yeah, mine is just to get my cows milked, my 2 cows milked, and yeah, so I'm going to take you guys along on that as long as my phone doesn't freeze. So the cows can stay nice and warm in here. Brrr is all waiting for milking. Yeah, so I'll get going here. It's always cold until you get your hands on those teats. Then it gets a little warmer. Turn the light on here. Alright, so we'll just move the cows into this little part here. And I open this up. Oh, it's cold. That gloves on. Oh, sorry, Brrr. Then pull this gate over. Come on, guys. They'll go back with their moms after I finish milking. I only took half the milk, so they got some. Alright. Hey, what are you being all crazy for? Make sure I put their head through this little half door. Come on, man. Shove it through. Every single day. Right. And since she's my stinker heifer. Hey, Missy, come on. There we go. There we go. So she doesn't wiggle around while I'm milking. Alright, so I keep my cleaning water in a thermos. Got it at the second-hand store. And yeah, it keeps your water nice and warm, so you don't have to feel so bad about washing them. But they always usually like to lay in poop on cold days. That's how it is when you're a cow, I guess. All right, just finished milking Brrr. She's gonna eat her grain here. I gotta give some of this milk to Orange Susan, the cat. You can see the milk's all frozen on the side of the bucket there. Some nice warm milk. So Annabelle is patiently waiting here for her turn. Got frost on your nose. Okay. Brrr, finish her grain. Yeah, so it's definitely not the coldest that you can get here. Last year we had a -40 spell, and I remember milking the cows in -40. It was so cold. But as soon as you like get your hands on the udder, you're okay. They're okay, you're okay. Everything warms up, it's all right. But it's just all the in-between stuff. So you can see I'm really dressed in the full winter parka garb. Simply merino wool underneath this. Yeah, I'm just not used to it yet because we haven't had really a cold snap, and it's February 2nd. Yeah, so we haven't had a cold snap yet, which is a little bit abnormal. Sometimes we have one in December, sometimes we have one in January, sometimes we have one in February, so kind of depends, but we do get pretty harsh winters here, so you know, expecting to have at least 1 or 2 cold snaps throughout the winter is like a good expectation. As I said, it does make everything harder, especially for Zach, who I feel like we kind of do blue jobs, blue jobs, pink jobs a little bit. Like Zach, you know, he stacks the stove. I stack the stove if I'm in the house, but like he sleeps beside the fire. I am actually so lucky as I say this. He sleeps beside the fire at night because we have a wood stove that is too small for our house. We replaced it and we thought it would be a big enough one, and it wasn't. And so it's usually fine, but when we have really cold snaps like this, it gets really cold in our house. We have a really old house. It was built in like, I think the 40s or something. It's an old log cabin, you know, not insulated, not chinked properly, and we just kind of never got around to it. In the 12 years that we've been on this ranch, we've been mostly kind of doing like outside stuff and not really worrying about the house, and usually that serves us fine because yeah, it's only during the cold snaps that the house gets really cold. So there's actually been times in the past where if it gets super cold, like if it gets below -30 Celsius, the kids and I just actually go to my mom's or Zach's mom's and stay, because the only way that Zach is able to keep the house from not freezing up is to turn the turbo heater on in the basement. We have like a dirt basement kind of thing. So there's some fumes and stuff, and he doesn't keep it on the whole time, but just to unfreeze the pipes because they freeze all the time. Yeah, so just a bunch of things that he has to do to keep the house warm enough, putting wood in the stove kind of on the hour when it's this cold, just to keep it from cooling down. The thing about cold snaps is at the beginning of them, you're always kind of okay. But as it stays colder for longer, even if it's kind of like, you know, about the same temperature, because it's been cold for so long, everything freezes up. So it just makes everything harder. It's harder on the equipment, harder on the animals. Yeah, but anyways, we'll get our ways through it. I just wanted to show you my milking routine. I'm gonna milk Annabelle here. I feel like my phone might freeze up, so if it freezes up, yeah, I'm just gonna milk Annabelle, and then I think I'm gonna give the milk to the pigs tonight, or to this morning, I mean. Yeah, I feel like everybody in a cold spell, all the animals in the cold spell should get a little bit of warm milk. I feel like that is a benefit of having a milk cow, is that you can gift your animals that, because, I mean, Orange Susan really loves it. Right, bud? Orange Susan's actually a boy. It's a whole thing. If you follow me on Instagram, I don't know where you went. If you follow me on Instagram, it was a whole orange cat thing. Apparently orange cats are almost always boys. Yeah, anyways, that was like 3 years ago. So yeah, I like to give the milk to the animals when it's this cold, and then that just gives them a little extra boost to hopefully get through the cold snap. Yeah, so that's that. I'll make sure I bed the cows down in here. They've been spending a lot of time in the barn. Their feeder is outside, so they do go back and forth. I'd prefer kind of to have feed in the barn for them, because then they could eat constantly. You know, eating is a really good way for them to get energy, as well as, you know, kind of keep warm. But yeah, just the way we have it, the feeder is outside, so they're going back and forth. But yeah, they've been spending a lot of time in the barn. Hi. And Orange Susan hangs out in the warm room. That is not that warm right now. He's got a blanket. Yeah, so that's that. Thank you guys for watching my video. I hope that you are having a good week. If you haven't already, click subscribe down below. I post a new video every Monday on all things cheese making and milk cows and dairy processing. And yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Okay, bye.